Hello, ladies. Hello, Monique Head here. Welcome to the Alluring Womanhood and Femininity Show. Yeah, there we go. I gotta stack my hands up. How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can catch me here every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. Actually, you can catch me here the last, except for the last week of each month. So you won't see me here next week because it's what I call my treasure week. Let me see who we have today. I should wait or just go ahead and get started with the lesson for today. I see one. Hello. So today's lesson is really about the danger of your comfort zone and why that's so dangerous, and why being in your comfort zone when it comes to your love life is dangerous, and it really keeps you trapped. So I've been having conversations. Well, first of all, let me start here. Our comfort zone, is intended to keep us safe. And our brains are wired to detect threat first and safety second. So anytime we feel threatened about something when it comes to our love life, there's a tendency to want to know what's coming next so that we can prevent it before it starts. Like, we want to mitigate it. Hi, Velvet, welcome. Good to see you, beautiful. We want to be able to mitigate the risk, mitigate any losses, prevent that from happening. But also we want to feel safe too, because we don't want to experience any pain. And it's dangerous to be in a comfort zone, to live in your comfort zone when it comes to your love life, because though we may think that, we're not experiencing pain, the immediate pain, that sense of immediate loss, we actually experience pain in other ways. Let me show you how this might come up. I was listening to Steve Harvey like the other day because I just really like him. I like him as like just a around the way man. Hey, Nicole, who can just give women tips from a man's perspective about just relationships. And it's not about like theology and philosophy and all of these different attachment styles. It's just basic practical information about how to live this life with some kind of common sense. That's what I love about Steve Harvey when he talks about relationships between men and women. And one of the things that a gal on the show said, well, I think it was a segment called Why, these women have given up on love. And one woman said that, Steve, I've been with my man for 12 years on and off, and he's had a baby on me. And you like him too? Yeah. And he's just funny. He just seems like a really cool guy. So if you're watching this and anybody is a producer, someone on Steve Harvey, I need to be on his show. I would love to get on his show and be an expert to support the women who are on his show. So if you know somebody, this is a plug. Make it happen. So the woman said, I've been with my man Steve, on and off for 12 years. He's had a baby on me, and he just hasn't really been doing right by me. And she's like, I just don't know. So, he's never proposed. We haven't gotten married. And Steve asked her, well, why have you allowed yourself to be with him for, 12 years on and off? And she's just like, I don't know. I don't know. And, even in my conversations, I see this happening all the time, where we're like, listen, I'm just so used to him. I'm just so familiar with him, even to the point where men will tell you, I don't want to be with you, or not really, they'll say it, and we don't believe them because what? They'll still call, because they'll still pop up. But this is why being in your comfort zone, why having a comfort zone when it comes to your love life can be dangerous. It's because we're defaulting to what we're used to, right? And when we default, we become the default chick, which is something that I spoke about this like years ago on YouTube. You can look it up. It says, don't become his default chick. I think that was the actual name of it. This goes back to really the standard that you have for yourself. What's the standard that you want to live in? Hi, Angel. Yeah, or their actions will say it too. Yeah, their actions will say what? That they want to be in a relationship, or that they don't want to be in a relationship, Nicole? Which one is it? I see my girl Kelly is here. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for the thumbs up. So let me know which one it is, Nicole. Are you saying that their actions will say it? Say which part? That they don't want to be in a relationship? Yes, absolutely. And that's why it's what do I say? That's why it's important for us to be able to have the spirit of discernment, to understand the signals that are being sent to us, the clear signals, and not trying to decode anything that's being sent. Because when a man says, I don't want to be with you, but yet he pops up, he's going to pop up because we're available, right? This is why I believe women, where women go, society goes. Women, we are the keepers of the relationship. You are the one that has the level of influence. You influence that man, and whether you know it or not, you influence him more than he influences you. So this is why men build castles and kingdoms. I mean, if you just look sort of historically, this is why, you know, men work hard. Hi, Day Renee, welcome. Oopsie. Men are working hard. When they get a wife, you know, when I met my husband, he was like, whoa, you know, I remember asking him like, well, what did you think when you know first met me? And he was like, look, that's a reason to work hard right there, you know. The masculine exists to be in support of the feminine. We are the multipliers. We multiply the seed. We nurture it. We give life to things. We create. We're creators, right? And so it's my intention to help you to create what it is that you want in your love life by equipping you with the skills about how you can embody confidence so that you can relate to men better. Because I'm thinking that a lot of us women don't really have an understanding about the signals that are being sent to us. We're overthinking, right? We're all in our headspace when we need to be more into our heart space. And so being in our headspace will keep us there, keep us in our comfort zone when what you really want and what is going to be beneficial for you is really stepping out of your comfort zone. Okay. You know, a long time ago, I used to do like MLM marketing. I think it was, what company was that? Prepaid Legal. And I think it's called something else now, some other legal multi-level marketing thing. And, you know, we would go to these training sessions, which I really, really love because I love the self-motivation, the self-help, the personal improvement. And there was a quote from a book of one of the gentlemen, and he said, you know, successful people live outside their comfort zone. Successful people live outside their comfort zone, and the man that is for you, the man that is waiting for you is outside of your comfort zone. But you won't be able to see him if you're if you're not willing to step out, if you're not willing to get clear about what you want and honor that desire within you and making a decision even when it hurts. Because what I realize is that it's more costly. Yes, it's going to hurt to leave in the short term, but there's a cost associated with that. There's a cost associated with that. And so, what did I write down? Here's the thing that came up. Here's the thing that this woman even said, and this is what I totally agree with. After a while, many of us are afraid to step out into our comfort zone. We're afraid to get into that unfamiliar territory because we feel like we've invested so much. But here's the thing. Right? We got to make sure that we're using the right language, because when you invest in something, you're going to get a return on that investment. And that's something that Steve said too. And it came to me and I was like, I've heard this before, and I guess I heard it from him. When we invest in something, we get a return on that investment. That is the intent. Is that when we're making an investment, if you invest in yourself through Polish Your Potential, you're hoping to get a return on that investment. Whether that means more confidence in yourself, whether that means that you're able to speak confidently in such a way that, you know, your man can make you happy. You're able to experience a sense of healing where you feel like you're bringing your best to your everyday and to your relationship, where you feel like you have a plan, right? You have a plan that is going to help you to get from A to B, whatever that is for you. That's the return on the investment that you're wanting. But many of us are lifting like relationships and really idolizing them to the point where we lose ourselves, right? To our own sacrifice, to our own detriment. Loyal to a fault. And it's not serving us, right? So when I hear women say, I just have so much invested, you know, I have so much invested. Well, what do you really have invested? What have you invested? You've given up a lot. You've put in some time, but it's not an investment, because an investment will yield a return. That's the goal. And you're sure sometimes an investment, when you think about stocks and bonds, like the market is very volatile. But you have to be willing to take the risk, right? That's what it's about. When you think about financial investments, are you in it? Are you going to be in it for the long term? And when it comes to marriage and really creating that lifelong relationship, you're in it for the long haul, which means that you're going to select an investment. You know, you want to mitigate the risk. You don't want to take a risky investment. So I just say this, I'm just giving you some food for thought for whoever this is for. Whether, you know, you've been in a relationship on and off with a man for some time now and you feel like you just have a lot invested. But yet when you really ask yourself, it has not yielded anything. And I want you to ask yourself that. What has this relationship yielded? Sure, you have some great memories. Sure, you have some great memories, but you know what Maya Angelou says, that when people show you who they are, believe them. When people show you who they are, it's really, really important that you believe them, so that you're not sacrificing yourself, so that you don't feel like you've lost your identity, so that you can really honor yourself and the woman that you are and move forward with confidence and grace. That's what it's about. Okay? You know, years ago, I remember when I was in college, and there was this guy that I was seeing, and he was older than me, and I would always like leave. He lived, I don't know, 30 minutes, so not too far from Ann Arbor. I want to say Ypsilanti. And so, you know, I would always be the one to drive up there and to say, hey, what you doing? I can come and see you. What's going on? This is and that. And my mama had to tell me, like, what are you always leaving your house for to come see this man? What is he doing for you? Been there. Michelle Angel says, been there, done that, moved on. What has he done for you? And I'm so glad that I had my mother to instill it in me, to say, well, you know what is it that I really want for myself? And is what I say, what I want for myself, does my behavior align with that? You know? If you find that your behavior is not aligning with the vision that you've set for yourself, you need a plan. And it's very, very difficult to do these things by yourself, you know? And as I mentioned in the email that I sent, it's like, you know, you just think that it would have happened by now. We just believe that love is going to happen without a plan. And for many women, it can, right? Because a lot of women have been groomed for this. You got to be groomed. That's the thing. Oh my goodness. You got to be groomed for this stuff. And it's even more difficult if you don't have family around you that you can really honor. Like, you see people who are in an honorable marriage, an honorable, you know, honorable relationship where they honor each other, and it's great. And you can see that and say, wow, that's what I want. I want to be able to model that and even take it the next step further. Because each generation is really supposed to be better, to have more options, more opportunity, and to exceed the last. But there has been a what? I don't know, a disruption, something. There's been a disruption where it's not happening. It's not happening. And so I just lost my train of thought. Are there any questions? And, you know, so it's not happening to the point where, what was I saying? Somebody help me out, please. I was talking about having a relationship, seeing it, honoring that, you know, how the comfort zone is really dangerous. And it's just really my intention and goal to help you just think about if this message resonates with you today and you find yourself knowing that you want to be with someone, but yet he is very clear. He said it several times that he doesn't want to be with you. And you find it hard. That's what I'm saying. You need a plan, right? You have to allow yourself to be guided out of that, if that's what you want, right? And you have to come to make a decision, because there's a cost associated with that. And this is especially true, you know. This means, you know, not being able to, women over-investing in relationships. That's right, over-investing in relationships. But investing is the wrong word, right? Because an investment is supposed to yield a return on the investment, an ROI. And marketing and business principles apply to relationships, whether we want to admit it or not, because people want to know. We want to make sure that we're getting a good deal. Were there any disruptions? What do you mean? Got to return on that investment, yes. What do you mean, Sharina? Were there any disruptions? Yeah, tell me what you mean. So the first thing that you really want to do, I mean, I say this over and over again, is that you really want to get clear on your messaging. What is it that you want for yourself? What is it that you want for yourself? What is it that you want to feel and experience in a relationship with an awesome man, right? And are you actually getting what it is that you want? Do you have what it takes, the skill, in order to create that environment? Sharita says, okay, I don't know, never mind. She said, Velvet, you were reminding us. Okay, gotcha. I just don't remember saying that, any disruptions, but I don't know. Sorry. Hey, Michelle. I want to tell you, Renika. I know that's what it is. Michelle Glenn, I remember you. How are you? Great to see you. Welcome, beautiful. Okay, so, I just got a disruption then. Making a decision is the first place that you want to start. And if you find yourself, how we do anything and how we do everything, and what I'm saying just doesn't apply to men. It just doesn't apply to our relationships. So where in your life, if you find yourself in this situation, and if you do, there's no judgment. We've all been there. We've all been there. So where in your life is this happening again? Where in your life are you staying in your comfort zone and really contracting when this is an opportunity for you to expand and to really step into the vision that you have for yourself? Where are you finding that? The best way to do that is to really have a plan, right? When I lost weight, it was because I had a plan. When I ran that half marathon, it was because I had a plan. When I applied to law schools and applied to 21 law schools, as I said that, and got into one conditionally, it was because I still had a plan. And God had a bigger plan for me too. But I knew what it took. That, I was willing to value my future more than my fears, more than what was in that moment, the pain, in order to push through it. Because I saw myself bigger than what was around me right now. Okay? And I made a decision, and I want to help you to make a decision so that you can get what you want. So that you can get what you want. I'm just reviewing some notes right here real quick and see if there's anything that I want to say that I've missed. Are there any questions, ladies? What are your questions? Okay. So the whole point of this is just really helping you to understand why familiarity can be dangerous, why your comfort zone when it comes to your love life can be dangerous. And I truly believe that once you're willing and you're able to step out of your comfort zone, there's so much more for you. And it's important that you have a plan in order to get that, because when you do have a plan, you're able to have peace of mind. When you have a plan, you're able to get your life back. Because what has happened for many of us, and I've spoken about this, especially when I spoke about the emotional wounding, is that anytime we have this situation where we've given so much of ourselves, we have given so much of ourselves, we're giving, and we're out of order, we're out of the feminine, because feminine, we're receivers. Sometimes it's better to receive than to give. What's your view on long distance relationships? I think that they're cool. I'm going to address that in a minute, but I don't want to lose my train of thought really quickly. We women are really receivers, and so if you find yourself giving, right, oftentimes that's when you're going to notice that the man is going to be pulling away because it's out of order. What does he have to respond to? Where's the opportunity for him to be able to give to you? Because the masculine exists to be in support of the feminine. And if you find that, you find yourself saying, I have so much invested. I know him, at least I know him. I know what I'm getting, but you're not getting what you want. I would love to support you in that. And then being able to let go of the fear and being able to release the pressure, and so that you can move forward and really step into your vision and experience the vibrance of a woman who is able to have that sort of confidence and knowing that she can create what it is that she wants in her love life with a deserving man, with a man of principle, with someone who treasures her, treasures you. Okay? Kelly, I think long distance relationships are great. I was in a long distance relationship before I got married. It can work. It can work, because absence makes the heart grow fonder. And in my experience, I found that, I don't know, I liked it, but I wouldn't want to do it again, because I know it was good for me while I was in school because I had some stability in my life. But at the same time, I wasn't too looking around for men and all this other stuff. But at the same time, I was still able to focus. Kelly also says, I find it hard to receive. I'm used to giving it emotionally. And if you're asking me, if people are able to be committed, in a long distance relationship, I absolutely believe that too. So if you have a more specific question, let me know and I can answer it regarding the long distance relationship. Angel says, I'm too independent, hard to depend on or let others do for me. Yeah. That's what I want to help you to let go. Being able to receive. Once you're able to receive, y'all don't understand how much that brings to a man's life, the purpose that gives to him. And then guess what? Here's what happens. So here's the cost of that, is that when we don't receive because we're too independent, we hope that he's just going to get a picture, but we have to remember that men aren't mind readers. And when we're not receiving, when we're not allowing ourselves to be supported, number one, not only are you really cutting off one of the most important forces that you have as a feminine. You're cutting off that feminine life force. But also, if we're not careful, we can begin to experience a lot of resentment towards that. Right? We start experiencing resentment. Oh, I'm doing it all by myself. Ain't nobody here to help me but me. And just really going into that story, going down the rabbit hole. But you don't have to do that, because there's another way for you. You have options, and I would love to support you in that. And if any of this appeals to you as you're watching this right now, live or watching the recording, and you're tired of the ups and downs, right? You're tired of not being able to stand in your own grace and power. You want to be able to live outside of your comfort zone, because that's where successful people live. I would love to support you so that you can create that amazing love life that you want. Email me, Monique@feminineallureacademy.com. And in the subject line, put "Let's Talk." And let me know, it's summertime here. Let me know, what's the challenge that you're experiencing right now? And why do you believe that I can help you? What is it that you want to change? And then we can set up a time to have a phone conversation, okay? Because I don't like to email back and forth. That's a lot of energy for me. So, Kelly says, I met someone in the U.S. on Facebook and I'm in Canada. I do not want to get involved in something only to learn that he was not on the up and up about things. Yeah, okay. That's really where discernment comes in. So you have to think about the conversations that you're having, and just be open to it. Right now I'm hearing that there's a lot of expectation and you're really forecasting. And when we forecast, Kelly, we forfeit that connection in the moment. So just enjoy it. I mean, you're meeting someone online, which is great. No expectations about it, because anytime we have expectations, we're really killing any possibility for connection and inspiration. Okay. The best way to do that is to continue to live your life, continue to water your garden. And if, think about how it is that you feel around him. Okay, you don't have to get involved. You have options. You have options, and you can create those. If you want some help in creating more options, meaning more dates, other men in your life, email me and I would love to support you in that. Monique@feminineallureacademy.com. Michelle says, someone once told me that when we do not accept or receive, we're denying the other person from giving their gift. Absolutely. So we just say thank you. Right. Laura Doyle says that when we reject the gift, we reject the giver. So there's absolute truth in that. I remember in college, this guy had, bought me a pair of shoes, some sneakers and tennis shoes, and I just felt so bad. I mean, I was really excited, and at the same time, I couldn't accept it, and he was so offended. He was so offended. And you know what? I remember speaking to one of my girlfriends, and she was just like, Monique, men always want to do for you, da 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 da. And then she told me, she was like, I wish somebody would just offer to help me. And then she said, I mean, I wouldn't accept it, but it would be nice. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Girl, you got to set them up for the win. Like, listen to what you're saying. You have to set them up for the win. Right now, you're setting them up for failure by saying, like, it would be nice to have someone to offer something to me. I would not accept it, but it would be nice. Come on now. Come on. We got to get real about where we are. And if you find that you have said that to yourself, it's time for you to have a plan and to get on board so that you can operate in your feminine allure. You can own your femininity. That's what it's about. Because you are that woman of influence. You are the keeper of that passion, that peace in that relationship. And it's important that you tend to your inner landscape first so that you can magnetize what it is that you are and what it is that you are becoming and get that masculine representation of yourself. Okay? All right, ladies, this has been beautiful. I got to go. Tomorrow, like I said before, I'm going to be on the road. So hopefully I will have some good internet connection. I might be a little bit late, to be honest with you. But you'll see me here. You'll see me again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 12 noon Pacific. You gals take care, and I love you. Bye.